One word. One hypnotist, Chris Jones. Chris Jones. One word. Is there a lot of learning when it comes to being on the road, Chris?
Is there a lot of learning?
Yeah.
Maybe emotional learning.
How so?
God, you ask good questions. Like my agents, they called me. I had a show and I had to cancel it on Thursday, and I told them this on Monday, like, hey, I want you to know, like, I need to reschedule the show on Thursday. I'm not feeling well. And they're like, okay, but you're still fine to do the next 3 shows. Why aren't you going to do the 4th show? And I'm like, I'll be completely transparent and honest. Like, I don't want to be on the road for a full week away from family and friends. Like, that sounds the most depressing thing. I don't want to be in North Dakota 5 days alone. Move it to next week. And he's like, but it's expensive to fly out there. I'm like, no, I hear you. But, and the other truth is, like, I have to do something for TV in New York on Friday. And you can't fly from North Dakota to be in New York by 8 a.m.
Well, you can, but you have to leave 3 days beforehand.
Right, exactly.
When it comes to being on the road and dealing with, being away from friends and family and things like that, how do you work with the work-life balance?
Something always falls. Something always falls. I mean, I think that I have little gauges. Like, if I don't have enough photos of my fiance and I together, there's something wrong. If I don't have time to walk the dogs, I get sick. Or, like, if I'm in pretty good shape physically, I have no money. Because that means I'm waking up after 8 hours of sleep, I'm working out, I'm eating well, not fast food, and I'm sleeping well. But if I have like $30,000 in the bank account, I'm like, okay, I'm gaining weight now.
Is it hard to come up with the monetization of what it is that you love doing?
Yes, because, I mean, I don't know if you're like me. I would talk to you for free, but you people still need to take time away from family. You still need to pay mortgage, rent. So, like, I can do shows for people for free if it's going to a charity or something fun like that. But you still need to get paid yourself.
Honestly, because the other day you reached out to me and asked me if I would talk to a buddy of yours to work on a podcast. And my first thought was, absolutely, I'll do it for you for nothing. That's the first thought that I had.
Right.
And I talked to my wife about it, and she's like, Bob, this is what you do for a living.
Right.
I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Right. Are we recording or are we just shooting the shit still?
No, man, I'm recording. Unless you want me to cut some of that stuff out. Because, I mean, we got some good stuff so far.
You're so good. Well, I was just talking as a person, like, you're asking me a lot of questions, Bob. I would need to ask about your family, see how you're doing. But we're in the air. This is, all right, we're rolling.
You just got to think about it this way. Whenever I call, we're going to record, and then if you don't want me to put something in there, I'll cut it out,
You know me. It's like if we were drinking a beer, maybe 2 beers, one for you, one for me, I'd have to ask, how are you doing? Tell me about your boy, the smart ass.
Right. Well, which one? I got 3 smart-ass boys and a smart-ass daughter, so I think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's cool. What was our topic of the day? Work balance?
Well, our one word today is balance. So we're talking work life and, just the word balance. Do you have good balance?
Sometimes. I know it's not an answer. I mean, I had to have a difficult conversation of I need to change a date for a show. And that's the hardest thing for me. Calling someone and say, hey, I need your help. I can't do a show on this day. Would you mind rescheduling for me? And then I have to cut them some type of deal just to keep it professional and to be thoughtful. So instead of giving me the usual fee, take off $200. I will bring free T-shirts to the show for some of the students. I'll buy dessert. Like, we'll have cookies together. I just can't do this date. Would you mind rescheduling for me? And then telling the agents, and they're usually disappointed because they don't care why I'm taking the day off. But if I move a date, that means I'm not working on that day when they don't get paid. And then take a potential other work day. Yes, exactly.
Right, and the next day. So they're kind of looking at it as ka-ching, ka-ching. Oh, man. It's like returning something to the mall,
That's a good point, yeah.
Do you see yourself as a celebrity, Chris?
No. I mean, I'm famous for maybe 60, 90 minutes while I'm on stage. I get off stage, see people want a photograph, and then I can go to a restaurant or a bar. And unless people go from the show to that Applebee's, I will not get recognized. And that's fun. Like, I would not like being in a restaurant and getting someone say, "Hey, can you take a photo with me?" And like, I'm enjoying my food. I want to finish eating this. Like, then we'll take a photo. But I haven't had that situation.
You've got a new show on Facebook on Facebook TV. What's it called? Facebook TV.
Yeah, Facebook Watch.
Facebook Watch, and it's called Double Take. I over the weekend, last weekend, watched all 6 episodes. Those are fantastic. When you're talking about people that recognize people, every one of those guests that you had are people that people would come up to and say, "Hey, aren't you?" Fill in the blank. And did you have the opportunity to talk to them about their celebrity?
Wow. Not really. Like, first I got to meet John Cena. We met for 5 minutes, and I said, I was like, "Tell me the truth. You won't offend me. Have you Googled me? Do you know who I am?" He's like, "I'm sorry, I haven't." And I was like, "Cool. That's great." I had to explain, I was on America's Got Talent. Howie Mandel's Afraid of Germs. I promise it's real. I don't use actors. So just know whatever you see will be real, John Cena. And then for Pamela Anderson, I didn't know what to expect, but she was still gorgeous. She was super sweet, super self-deprecating. Like, every joke was about her. And I like wanted to give her a hug at one point. I was like, "Oh no, it's cool." Steve-O was an interesting character. It was real interesting.
He seemed like
I don't know what I can say about Steve-O.
After watching that one, I just when he yelled at the pots and threw the pots on the ground, that was my favorite part of that episode, honestly. And I'm sure that you guys in the back are going, "What in the hell is he doing?"
Yeah. Well, we had so many ideas that I don't know if it was legal or whoever said that we couldn't do it. Like, I know how to eat glass, and the secret for eating glass is it's just you eat it slowly. It's not good for your teeth. And I was like, "Steve-O, how about this? We have a light bulb. We have it glowing. You unscrew it." And it was like, "Look at this. Enlightenment. And you throw a piece in your mouth. I throw a piece in my mouth. And we just chew it up in front of your fan." And his mind is like, "How? What? No, this is crazy." And he's like, "Yeah, that's really not good for your teeth." And I'm like, "Dude, you stapled your scrotum to your leg. How are you not going to eat glass with me? I'm going to mess my teeth up just so we can do this together, and it'll be great TV." And I was like, "Well, how about this? How about this?" Like, "Yeah, that's really not a good idea either." But he did hit me in the crotch. I was like, "You have to hit me in the crotch because you're Steve-O." And he's like, "All right, cool, man." But it didn't make it to TV. They didn't show that.
Your voice isn't any higher. I didn't expect that. Hi, this is Chris Jones. So the show is called Double Take. It's on Facebook Watch. Can anybody watch it at any time, or is it for a limited run only?
I don't know. I just know that today they're featuring the Gabriel Iglesias episode, Fluffy, aka Fluffy. And my dad, who doesn't have Facebook at all, he's like, "Well, how do I watch it? How do I get my friends to watch it?" And I said, "Maybe I'll put it on YouTube." But no, Facebook is doing their own streaming service, so it's not on YouTube yet. Unlike with TV, you're like, are people watching the show? I don't know how they do TV ratings, but with this, you can see, okay, there has been 1 million views.
Mm-hmm. Do they watch them all the way? Do you know if they watch them all the way through?
That's a good question. I think the 12-minute to 14-minute episode is pretty digestible.
Uh-huh.
I think the editing team did an amazing job of making them short, sweet, and to the point. And there's not a lot of fat on it at all, which is good. It's like lean episodes.
So anything else we can think about when it comes to balance and the work life with you?
I think we go spiritual sometimes. And I went to religious school. And if we dissect like the first 3 commandments, they're kind of in threes, even though there's 10 of them. The first 3 is your relationship with God. So respect the Sabbath. Don't use the name of the Lord in vain. And then it goes to your relationship with your family, honor your mother and father. And then it goes to your bigger community. You shouldn't kill. You shouldn't steal. Bear false witness. You start with this your balance with your creator, then your household, and then with the larger world. I think I should not be working 6 days a week and only having Sunday to relax. Balance, taking time to read a book for leisure and turning off the TV, that's really important. Because sometimes I get to my shows and I'm just so upset with the politics that are going on. Sometimes I just get to the show and I'm so angry. I just want to yell and be like, when I was in college, we couldn't have gay marriage. They said that would destroy America. And when my dad was in college, they didn't have interracial marriage. That was not protected. They said that would destroy America. Like, recognize the privilege that we have right now. Like, we should move forward and not go back to when women couldn't vote or Asian Americans couldn't vote and we're in Japanese detention centers. Like, let's use our money for something good. Balance. Remember to breathe. That's all.
Find entertainer and hypnotist Chris Jones at hypnotistchrisjones.com. The One Word Chris Jones Podcast, a podcast for higher production.